Hey guys. Okay, so we're going to start with the P. Louise base. It's number 4. Yes, it's a base, but I use it as concealer. So I underline it with my eyebrows. I do use a flat brush. Some people say you can take the brush and flatten it out with eyelash glue, but I don't do that. I just use my fingers and mold it into its shape. Okay, so you do want to make sure both brows kind of look even. You know, they say they're sisters, not twins. Well, guess what? My eyebrows are cousins. As long as they look related, I'm fine. I'm not about to stress myself out about it. Okay, now I'm taking one of my Real Technique brushes. It's a little bit of a fluffier and wider end, and I'm going to blend. Okay, so now I'm trying the NARS concealer for the first time. It's closer to my skin tone, so I'm putting it on the top of my brows, and of course using that same brush to blend it out. Okay, so I'm taking the P. Louise base number 2. I'm going to place it on the back of my hand and use that same brush to put it all over my lid. The P. Louise base does have a very thick consistency, so you will need to blend this out. Like, you cannot play around with this stuff. Okay, so I'm going into one of my Morphe palettes, and I am using a fluffy brush. I want to say M441 by Morphe as well. But that was a very big mistake. I should have used a crease brush, but you will see later in the video I go back and then apply that brown color with a crease brush. With it being so fluffy, I just felt like I wasn't getting it directly in the area that I wanted it. When it comes to applying eyeshadow, you really have to learn your own technique. I watch a lot of videos. Some people say you have to be very light-handed. I feel like no matter how much I try to be light-handed, I'm always being heavy-handed. You want to apply your eyeshadow in a circular motion. And as you see, I'm going back with the crease brush. You want to pat circular motions and windshield wipers. Okay, so right here I'm going in with a peach color from the same palette using an M441 brush as well. You do want to use a fluffy brush when you are basically fading out that initial color. So I'm using small circular motions and small windshield wiping type motions as well. It's very important that you stay consistent and be light-handed so it will blend. It's all about the blend, honey. With that same peach color, I'm just making sure that everything is smooth. And now I'm going back to my crease and adding that brown color to make sure everything is smooth and that we didn't lose the color, as you can see. So on this side, I'm just going back and fixing the crease as well. So now I'm going back into my palette and I'm using a darker brown. I'm going to place it all over my lid. So for this step, you just want to take another fluffy brush or the same fluffy brush for the first color and blend everything. Just blend, honey. Blend it out. Make sure it's nice and smooth. Make sure your colors are still there. Make sure everything runs together effortlessly. When it comes to applying eyeshadow, everything is so repetitive. As you can see, I went back in with that peach color and just blended everything out. Like I said earlier, it's all about the blend. It's all about, you know, your technique. You just got to figure out what works for you. So now I'm using a white chunky eyeliner from NYX and applying it on my waterline. After applying the white to my waterline, I went in with that dark brown on a smaller eyeshadow brush and applied it underneath it. This is just going to help your eyeshadow all come together. Look, I made a mistake. Oh well, we're going to keep going. And it just brings it all together. So now I'm using a mascara from Tarte. It's called Man Eater. If you are looking for a new mascara, I must say this is it, honey. I got it in my BoxyCharm box. and I just love it. As you can see, I made another mistake, but I'm just going to be as transparent as possible. I'm not going back to fix that. Let's get into these lashes real quick. They were $2 from Family Dollar, and they were just bomb. I don't remember the name, but for all the products I use, I will put them in the description box. Finally, the face, what matters. Okay, I'm using a primer from Milk Cosmetics. It's called Hydro Grip. It's my favorite. It's nice and sticky and helps your foundation stay on. So I will be using the NARS Matte Foundation. This will be my first time. And my review for it would be it's amazing. I don't really have oily skin in the winter, but for summertime, this will definitely be the foundation for me. It looks like skin. Ladies, you see, I'm using a brush to blend out my foundation. A beauty blender is cool, but I just love the brush better. It's from Real Techniques. It's called Instapop. I will put everything in the description box, like I said, but it is essential to get you a good foundation brush. And I use the patting motions. Do not swipe, do not wipe. It will make your foundation look a mess. Do not forget, get all aspects of your face, check it, make sure it looks good. I did my neck, as you've seen earlier, just because my neck tends to be a little bit darker than my face, or because I have blemishes, so I like to cover that up as well. Get your nose, get your mouth, just make sure everything's covered, because let me tell you something, people will call you out, people will post about you on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, in their group text, whatever they feel is best, so make sure your makeup look good, y'all. So I'm going back in with that same NARS concealer from earlier. I'm going to put it under my eyes. I'm not a person who uses really bright concealer under their eyes, but do what's best for you, to each his own. For certain looks, I do use concealer to highlight my forehead and my chin. So we're going to use a concealer brush, a thicker end, and it's like a buffer brush, and we're just going to pat everything out. That gives it the buff out effect. I do line up the edges of my eyeshadow sometimes, but later in the video, you will see me blend it back out because I didn't like how sharp the edges were. Okay, back to blending. Blend, blend, blend. Pat, 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 pat. No swiping, no wiping. The only time you can really swipe or wipe is like when you're doing maybe an edge or something, but I really don't recommend it. As you can see, I'm just going through, blending everything out. You know, the blend is essential. Without the blend, you look crazy. Now I'm going in with my foundation brush again and just blending everything out. I did switch to another Instapop brush. I think it's the cheek brush, and just made sure everything was blended and, you know, smooth. Now you will see I used the translucent powder from Laura Mercier. It is the newer one, the honey, and I use that to set under my eyes and around my mouth. I'm contouring my face with another NARS concealer. It came in like these little sample packs from Sephora. I did not like this concealer. It was too thick, and it definitely isn't a normal color that I would usually contour with. As you see, I'm going in and dusting away that powder and also doing a patting motion just so it will set into my skin. Now I'm blending out my contour. You want to make sure you blend your forehead. You want to make sure you follow the line of your cheekbone. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I feel like I don't have cheekbones. I just told my mom this the other day. But like I said before, blend, 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 pat, pat, pat. So now I'm going in and adding more translucent powder, and I'm going to contour my nose. I am a person who goes back over her makeup very many times to make sure everything is blended together. Now I'm going to contour with a powder contour on top of the cream. As you see, I made a mistake. I am going to go back in and fix that. I tried to fix it with my foundation brush, but honey, it just did not work. after wiping some of that off, I went back in with my beauty blender and my foundation brush and just, blended and did my little pat motions just to make sure everything was nice and smooth and that my contour was not sitting on top of my foundation. This next step, I just started doing it this way, outlining my contour or cleaning up my contour from my ear down to my lip. It does make your contour very bold, and you will see that I go back in with more contour powder because with the translucent, I felt like I was losing it. Another thing that you should do when you contour your face is make sure you contour your jawline. Sometimes if your foundation looks a little too light or you use too much highlight, this is an easy way to fix that. Now I'm just using my foundation brush, again, patting away the dust, not the dust, but the powder. And I'm just making sure everything is blended out. I'm using a brush again to make sure my contour is not too much. Then I go in with a little bit of blush, and it's like a peachish color. It is in the Juvia's Place palette. And I just add that kind of on top of my contour. So guys, as you can see, I left a little bit of powder on my nose with the ring light being so bright, and I have something wrong with my vision right now, too much to tell. I couldn't really see the powder, so I do go back and fix that in the end. Now I'm going in and adding some highlights to my cheekbones, and I will also add some under my brow. Now, something I did realize that I kept saying was highlight when I was applying my concealer. That's called highlighting and contouring your face. I'm just hoping y'all caught my drift when I was saying that and didn't misunderstand me. I am lining my lips with a brown from e.l.f. I'm not really sure. I got it in like this combo pack. It came with like 5 lip liners and a lip gloss for only $10. I got it from Target if y'all want to go check it out. I'm using the Continuous Spray by Morphe to set my face, and now I'm going in with some Fenty Gloss. Honey, I love this lip gloss. I will have to share the details. I just don't remember what it's called. Okay, guys, this is it. This was my first time recording myself. I hope you like it. And if you have any questions, leave it in the comments.